Hey everyone! Welcome to another episode of Renton Reflects. When it comes to animation, it's easy enough for one to think that it's only for kids and that it's completely harmless. Well, that might not always be the case. Take this movie for instance. It features that of two young whales named Samson and Sally, who are told a story of the legend of Moby Dick, the great white whale. Samson believes in the story to the point that he thinks Moby Dick is real and wants to find him. All the while, the entire whale herd does what it can to avoid certain obstacles, such as killer whales, oil spills, and giant ships, which they refer to as iron beasts. After checking this movie out for myself, I gotta say that it's definitely not quite like that of a Disney movie. It's got some blood, it's got death, and it's got a few scenes where animals eat other animals just to survive. Thankfully, these are not to the extent of such movies as Watership Down or The Plague Dogs, but still, such imagery could be seen as a little bit questionable for kids. My other criticism is that the story is told in a way that's not exactly very linear. The idea of Samson going off to find Moby Dick doesn't even get going until about 2/3 of the way in. The rest of the time, the story's presented in a way that's rather fragmented, featuring a few moments that may or may not have much of a point being there. For example, there's a sequence where two walruses do a musical comedy act, where they interact with such things as the animals from Noah's Ark, human skeletons, even play around with some radioactive waste. On the plus side, the animation itself is nice, and the musical scoring does have a nice atmosphere to it. It also has a valid message about how humankind can be seen as rather foolish when it comes to interacting with the forces of nature. I can't exactly say if kids will have a whale of a good time watching this movie, but it's not really all that bad. On a scale between 1 and 10, I personally give this film a 6.5. Copies of this movie are very rare and hard to find. So if you're curious about checking it out for yourself, your best bet would be to find it online when you get the chance. And that concludes my review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.